Hello Treehouse friends, this is Miss Annie, and I'm going to be reading The Cow on the Roof. Shion Dafydd always grumbled that his wife could do nothing properly in the house. Not a meal nor anything else ever pleased him. At last his wife got tired with his grumbling, and one day told him that she would go to weed the turnips and that he should stay to take care of the baby and the house, to make dinner and some other things which he used to do. Shion easily agreed, thinking that she would have an example to live up to. In starting to the field, the wife said, "No, you take care of the baby, feed the hens, feed the pig, turn out the cow to graze, sweep the floor, and make the porridge ready for dinner." And Shion said, "Dinna ye bother with all that, ye see to the turnips." The wife went to the field, and Shion to the house. The baby awoke. For a long time Shion rocked the cradle and tried to sing to the child, which only seemed to make the poor baby grow worse. Shion then remembered the pig, which was squealing very loudly. He went to get some buttermilk to make food for it, but he spilled the milk all over the kitchen floor. The pig heard the sound of the bucket and made such a noise that Shion could not stand it. "Ye wait a bit, ye rascal," Shion said to the pig, "or ye shall go and find food for yourself." So he opened the door to turn out the pig. Out went the pig like a shot right between Shion's legs, throwing him into the dunghill. By the time he got up and tried to scrape a little of the dirt off his clothes, the pig was nowhere to be seen. Shion went into the house, and there was the pig, lapping up the milk from the floor, and had besides overthrown another pot of milk and was easily drinking up that. "You rascal!" shouted Shion, and catching a hold of a broom, swept the pig out of the house. Shion never saw the pig again. By this time it was getting quite late, and Shion thought of the porridge. But the cow had to be turned out to graze, and he had quite forgotten about the hens. Poor hens. The field where the cow had to gather its daily bread, as it were, was some distance from the yard, and if Shion went to take it there, the porridge would never be ready in time. At that moment, Shion happened to notice that there was some fine grass growing on the roof of his house. There was a rise at the back of the house, and the roof reached almost to the ground. Shion thought that the grass on the roof would be a good meal for the cow, and in order to be able to make the porridge as well, Shion took a rope, tied it around the cow's ankle, ran up the roof, and dropped the other end of the rope through the chimney. Then Shion went to the porridge. So that he might have his two hands free, he tied the end of the rope around his ankle. In grazing on the roof, without thinking, as it were, the cow came to the top and slipped over suddenly. Shion felt himself being pulled up by the leg, and into the chimney he went, feet first. Somehow his legs went one on each side of the iron bar from which the kettle was hung over the fire, and there he stuck. Just at that moment, the wife came back from the turnip field, and was horrified to see the cow dangling in the air. She ran to the door and fell across the empty buckets. Without seeing anything else, picked up an axe and ran to cut the rope to save the poor cow. Then she ran into the house, and the first thing she saw there was Shion, standing on his head in the porridge.